Welcome to our lectionary preview for the fifth Sunday after Pentecost. This week we are invited to wrestle with a question that might just change how we see ourselves and how we see God. Who are you in the story? We begin with our gospel for this week, Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. The very familiar story of the Good Samaritan. It's one of the most famous parables Jesus ever told. A man is attacked, left for dead. A priest passes by. A Levite passes by. And then a Samaritan. Now, we often hear this as a story about helping others, about being a good neighbor. And it is. But don't stop there. This parable is not just a lesson in morality. It is a story that disrupts expectations and reveals the radical nature of God's grace. The Samaritan, the one the original hearers would have expected to avoid the dying man, is the one who stops, who cares, who restores. And that leads us to a deeper question. Who are you in this story? Some days we might admit that we're the priest or the Levite. We cross to the other side, overwhelmed, distracted, unsure. Other days, we might feel like the Samaritan, compelled by compassion, moved to act. But what if, just what if, this time we are the one in the ditch, bruised, powerless, unable to save ourselves? And what if Jesus is the one who draws near, the one we did not expect, the one who sees us, binds our wounds, carries us to safety at his own expense? This parable then is not just a challenge to be kind. It is the gospel. It is good news. It is Jesus saying to us, even when you are at your lowest, I will come to you. Paul opens his letter to the Colossians with deep gratitude. He prays that they would grow in spiritual wisdom, not just knowing about God, but living in a way that bears fruit, that's rooted in God's love and power. He reminds them, and us, that God has rescued us from the power of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the beloved Son. Rescued. That's the word Paul uses. Do you see the connection? He's not talking to a people who have it all figured out. He's writing to a people still growing, still struggling, and he says God has already reached out. God has already come near. So whether you feel like the one walking the road or lying in the ditch, God has acted. God has rescued. God has claimed you. In our first reading from the book of Deuteronomy, Moses speaks to a weary people about God's commandments. not as distant or unreachable, but as near, not up in heaven, not across the sea. Moses says, the word is very near to you. It is in your mouth and in your heart so that you can do it. See, God is not playing hide and seek here. The way of life, the way of compassion, the way of love, it's close. It's accessible. And still, we often find ourselves drifting. We get busy. We miss the needs around us. We feel stuck, or worse, we feel forgotten. But here's the thread running all through of these three readings. In Deuteronomy, God's word is near to us. In Colossians, God has already rescued us. And in Luke's gospel, God is showing up where we least expect God to, in the form of a Samaritan, bending down to help us. So, who are you this week? Are you the priest hurrying by with too much on your plate? I could sure relate to that one. Are you the Levite, unsure if it's safe to stop? Are you the Samaritan, stirred with compassion? Or are you the one in the ditch, unable to move, waiting for help? The beauty of Jesus' parables is that they don't box us in. They open us up. For some days, we are the helper. And other days, we are the helped. But always, always, Jesus is near, healing us, rescuing us, loving us. So whether you're on the road or you're on the ditch, whether you feel strong or broken, know this: the Christ is coming for you with mercy, with grace, with love that goes all the way to the cross and beyond. This is Pastor Will, and thank you for joining us for this week's preview of the lectionary readings. If this has encouraged you, please share it with someone who needs a word of hope. And until next time, may the God of compassion meet you wherever you are on the road. And may the peace of Christ be with you always.